Hey guys, I'm Perry, a pro jungler in the NACL/Academy League. I played on Dignity Cross Academy about a year ago. I've been maintaining Challenger for the last 3 years, and I'm currently coaching and streaming 3 times a week. For information, please join my Discord or look in the description box below. Also, I just hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope to see you guys around, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well.
We are playing some Hecarim, Emerald. Okay, so there's one thing fishy about their comp right away. What is that?
Oh, physical, yeah.
Yeah, they have no AP. So that
Yeah,
instant signals, hey, we have a comp that can scale well, can go tab eye, can go defensive stats.
right. And that's actually why I brought Inspo second here, because I wanted magical footwear. Because normally I would rush Ionian boots, but this game I was thinking like, oh, I need tabbies this game,
Yeah,
and I didn't feel the need to rush it either.
yeah,
So I just wanted the magic boots.
it's good. That's good. So just come into the game knowing that hey, full AD comp. Let's build some armor. You did that good. So the next thing we're going to do is think about where we're going to path towards. So generally speaking, I'll give you like 80% of the time you're pathing towards bot lane. Like give or
Yeah.
take 80% of the time you're pathing towards bot lane. Every now and then you have a matchup like Aatrox and Gangplank where you could path the top lane. Oh, sorry. You could path the top lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to. Okay? And the reason for that is both of these champs can also just scale. So
Right.
some matchups you have to fight, some matchups you can just scale. But the idea is you have a matchup top lane that can use attention. Your gank lane can use attention. You have a matchup mid lane that can use attention. Okay, Ghost it's kind of hard to interact with every now and then, trying to make it away. But you have Zac, it's a good amount of CC, can use attention, and then you have bot lane who also, can work with Ornn. Like maybe Jinx is too far up, you can work.
Yeah.
So pretty much every single lane in this game you can interact with and you kind of want to interact with if the conditions align. So now what we ask ourselves is, okay, so let's think about 3v3 bot lane, let's think about 2v2 mid lane, let's think about 2v2 top lane. So because of this, what we want to generate is a tempo advantage, and we want to generate a play where the enemy jungler is stuck on the opposite side of the map. So what this means is, okay, if you path towards bot lane, and the enemy jungler paths towards bot lane. We do not want to take the 3v3, right? We don't
Mm-hmm.
think the conditions are that good. So what we do is we let the enemy jungler capitalize on whatever's going on bot lane, okay? And you ping your bot lane danger, and you recall, and you go to top lane. But the principle is to farm your camp the moment it spawns, okay? That's the principle
Okay.
of keeping your tempo high. Farm your camp.
So what I'm thinking in a game like this, right, and also like 90% of junglers do clear top to
Yep,
bot in this elo.
yep.
So what I'm thinking is, and I also clear top to bot. So it would be as soon as I finish my blue buff, that normally is around like 3 times.
Yeah,
I just skip scuttle crab recall and then insta pass straight top.
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
But the idea is every single time you're playing a champion like Hecarim, who also needs tempo to make the champ work, you must um, keep your tempo high with your resets. So generally
Yeah.
speaking, when the enemy laner, sorry, can invade you, or anyone can invade you, anyone can interact with you, you save spells that are important. It's as if you just use your E on the camp. Like, why? Right? It's the
Yep.
same thing. Your W is that important. Why use your W on this camp here when there is danger coming in? And you did a good job. Why did you do a good job? You looked mid. You saw that this guy has a move. You looked the entire time, which is great. This information should be gathered. You should also see that this Tryndamere is leaning towards the top side after this wave crash. What is this guy thinking about right now in this picture?
He wants to kill that last minion to
Okay.
crash.
What can he do after he kills this last minion?
He's free to move
Okay.
wherever he
What do you
wants.
think he would want to do if there's no Raptor invade at all? There's still something he wants to do.
Um, he can roam.
Roam, yeah, roaming on the second wave is pretty difficult. There's something that you always want to do as a laner, and it's ward, right? So
Yeah.
after he crashes the lane, he's going to ward either side no matter what. So no matter what here, in this position, he's going to leave his lane after he crashes the wave. How do we know this? Well, look at him. He's trying to kill this minion, right? After he kills this minion, we can see where he's going to go to or towards because, we look at him. So the important thing here is there's a problem. The problem is the laner is going to crash a wave. Okay, right now this guy is crashing this wave. Right, it's pretty obvious. There's 6 minions here. There's 2 minions. There's 9 minions here and 2 minions here. It's pretty obvious this is going to crash.
Yeah.
Right. When someone's going to crash a wave, they have many options to do something on the map. So we should have alarm bells ringing in our head. Okay, the Trinity can do something. The Trinity doesn't even need to go, eat the raptors or fight you. He can go for a ward, and you want to try and dodge the ward the same way. So this is normal. This is fine. Bot lane gets a solo kill. Top lane gets a solo kill. So we got to look at bot lane. The moment bot lane kills here, we need to look. What are we going to look at? We're going to look at the wave. Okay, so this
Yeah.
entire time, bot
Jinx
lane,
HP.
yeah, we're also doing HP. But the entire time we're looking at bot lane for like half a second, every single picture. Right, it's important to look bot lane with more intent to see what's going on with the wave. Why is it important to see what's going on with the wave? Well, to see if you want to help them crash the wave, or if they even need help, or if Graves can come. Right now, what does Ezreal and Ornn need to do?
They need to crash.
Yeah, they need to crash. So what Graves can do is he can come gank this, if he's battling down.
Yeah.
And then it's a question of, okay, so do I need to ping? Do I need to go? Or is it best for me to just farm? Right, so that's a question for you to answer in the game, and generally speaking, in positions like this, it's actually best for you to go crash your lane with your teammate. Why is it best? Well, you have E as well, right? So if you had 2 points Q, you would need to full clear. So you have E, so you have options. But the other thing is, this is your strong side. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. So right now, so your strong side is bot lane, right? Because you path down towards bot lane. If you path to
Yeah.
top lane, your top lane is your strong side. So this is your strong side lane. Whenever you have an opportunity to make a play to cover your strong side lane or to help them win, you must help them win. People have the misunderstanding of, okay, I'm on my camps, my bot lane's winning, why can't they just leave? Well, they can't just leave. They have a problem here. They need to do something. Pretty much whenever you have a winning lane, generally strong side, you must be willing to drop camps to help them continue winning. If you don't, you're gonna have 3 losing lanes. Okay. And the last thing is the wave is normally the priority for lanes, very rarely. Okay, let's see what Jinx does. When Jinx comes back to lane, she fast crashes. Now what that means is when Ezreal comes back to lane, he's gonna have a slow push. So the reason why that's important to understand is if you did this top play on this wave, you crash the wave, you recall, you'll be bot lane when you're slow pushing into the enemy bots. You can do dragon, you can dive, you can move your Ornn to mid lane, you can move your Ezreal to invade, you can do anything in the bot side. How do we know this? Well, the enemy Jinx just crashed into us. We're gonna have a crash into them.
Yeah.
What we're talking about here is we're gonna talk about pings. So your laners are focused on laning, trading, wave management. They don't have time to track. So it's your job, such if your laner should be afraid.
Yeah.
And the other thing is when you are making a weak side play, it needs to go fast, or it needs to go. You need to secure it with as many resources as you can. So whenever making a weak side play, you must make it fast. Plus, use everything you can to make it work. So that means use sums, use ults, use everything you can to make it work. Okay? The problem is, like you saw, your guys are so much weaker. It's level 8 to level 6. The Graves is pretty strong too. The Graves is equal strength to you, maybe a little bit stronger. You need to make this work, otherwise you wasted your time. Why did you waste your time again? Well, if you just did your Krugs, you just recalled, and you just went to bot lane, you have Ezreal to play with, you can win the game through Ezreal. When you look at a game like this, it's very hard to feel like the game you can win it. But it's solo queue. Solo queue is messed up. It's demented. Every game is winnable. So what you want to acknowledge here is, hey, I do not want to play with this guy. I do not want to play with this guy. But this guy, if I can do anything I can with him, you can win by playing through your Ezreal. So that would mean by at this point of the game, you've played 2 plays topside, wait, like a pseudo play, which is a counter gank, and then the other time you got yourselves killed. Okay, and you got yourself killed here earlier, and then other than that, you haven't interacted with ball lane a single time this game, right? And that's important to understand because, well, also use the only ultimate you had top lane to kill the Graves when you were tilted, so you have even less time to interact with your ball lane. It's really important to kind of see that because if you play with your ball lane, the likeliness of you making a good play just skyrockets. Not by the fact that you're doing anything crazy. You're just playing off your winning lane. So I'm gonna write down this as like rules. So pretty much we're gonna have a few set of rules. Number one, always play with your winning lane, no matter what. If
Right.
possible, no matter what. No, look, very few exceptions. Okay, and in a game of League, there's always gonna be ways to break rules. It's just there's just so much you can do, but most of the time, almost always play with your winning lane. Do not even interact with the weak side if you can prevent it. Okay. Number two, what we're gonna talk about is this is just to keep tempo. Farm your camp respawns the moment it spawns. You only need to clear your weak side respawn. So here we're gonna talk more about concepts here. This game itself, like you said, you're mental boomed, you're out of it. Kind of pointless for me to look at. Um,
Yeah.
but to recap this game before we move on to this last note, if you so the fix is the major mistakes. Not holding your W here. Not here. Not holding your W back here. Okay, not using your ghost when this guy is this close to you, this close melee range to you. Not kiting this guy. So we'll talk about fighting in a bit, but you're not kiting this guy at all. You're just kind of letting him, hit you. Use your ghost at the end. You use your ghost early so you can like dodge this guy, walk around. Okay.
Right.
The other thing, the next thing would be after you do your Raptors here, um, all this ended up being okay. Wasn't the end of the world. I'm thinking in hindsight, this is a really specific game to look at, but you actually do skip the Raptors here probably. And the reason for that is you want to synchronize these two camps, and it's probably better around a champion like Hecarim. It's really important where you want to have like fluidity with your clear. So
Mhm.
I think it would have been better from base if you went down to here or to Wolves at least, and then had your ball come cover you if the Graves is invading. And if you're scared of blue grump invade, do your Wolves. If not, you can do your blue buff. You can do whatever. But for fluidity, you probably should not have done Raptors. Okay. The next thing
Yeah.
is this top play. You're very late. You could have killed this guy if you were ready. The moment right here, this guy's walking up like this. He's eating the wave the entire time. The big thing to understand here is if you fight right now, it's going to be a 2v1 versus right here. Right now, it's a 1v1, right? GP has no juice for you. So otherwise,
Hmm.
you'd be able to GP would kill this guy with you. It's a missed kill, and it's important to understand that if you're in this bush as well, you would also get the kill the exact same way. Why is that? Why is it a kill? Well, this Aatrox walked up too far to trade, while Gangplank's trying to crash the wave. You get the kill. The game is like slightly saved. Okay. The next thing in this game was, I mean, pretty much a Raptor sequence is fucked up, but because of the early game. But right now your ball lane has a problem. Not necessarily a problem, but your ball lane has something that they want to do. And normally when your laner wants to hump a turret, you need to know where the enemy jungler is, or you need to be on the side of your teammates when they're humping that turret. So in this case, you need to ping bot lane to be careful because you're not there and you don't know where the enemy jungler is, so you don't have two of the primary conditions, right? So you need to ping your bot lane. That's all you can do. I think it's very likely if you ping danger, like what I would do is I would ping danger in their lane, and then I'll ping danger like here, and I'll ping danger here, and I'll ping danger here. I'll use like 3-4 pings to let them know that hey, bot side the Graves can be at, and what's gonna happen is your Ezreal and your Ornn are not going to use their vital abilities when they hear those pings. Right? It's
Right.
like when someone if this Zac pinged, the Trinivir is gonna come to you. You're not going to use your W in a response to that. Like you're much more likely to hold it at least. You still might, but you're much more likely to hold it. So the same thing applies for lanes. When you use pings like that, they're much more likely to not go in that deep, to not kill themselves, to not use their E, um, their Ezreal Arcane Shift, or Ezreal Dash. We're going to talk about the one more rule, and then we are going to go to fighting, and then patience, and then we're going to call it. But pretty much what weak side to strong side means is you path down. This is your strong
Right.
side. This is your weak side. Mid lane you can always interact with no matter what kind of game. Almost always. That's just kind of how mid lane goes. When you path down to your strong side like this, that makes this your weak side camps, right? And that makes this your strong side camps. So you're playing a champion like Hecarim. Normally these rules like don't really apply. You want to farm all your camps, but the principle of weak side and strong side is these two camps, this weak side camp right here, this weak side camp right here, you can clear them, okay, oh sorry, you must clear them as fast as they spawn. The moment they spawn, you must be here, you must clear them. That's the principle, that's the idea. Okay, and then afterwards, your strong side camps right here and right here, you don't have to clear them. Okay, what that means is if there's a play bot lane down here, you can skip your strong side camps and go make a play. You can go invade, you can do dragon, you can dive bot, you can gank bot, you can do anything you can with the bot lane if your bot lane is your strong side. If there is no play bot lane, or if there's no guaranteed opportunity, then obviously you can just clear your camps here, so clear the entire jungle. But the principle is to always, before you make plays, clear this camp and clear this camp. The only time you would skip your weak side camps to do something is if you're defending a top wave. So waves, the process is always waves, then objectives, um, always waves, objectives, tempo. Okay, these are the three key things that will, shift your fundamentals into thinking about the game more clearly. Objectives are always going to be in the game. Waves are always going to be in the game. Tempo is always going to be in the game. Okay, it's like instead of trying to change your pieces, and you play chess, you know how chess pieces work?
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of trying to, get a bunch of queens on your board or get a bunch of bishops or, like the rooks or the best pieces you could possibly be, you're playing with the game as it's supposed to be played. You're playing with the given conditions the game gives you. When you play for kills, when you play for ganks, when you play to with champions in mind, everything shifts. All the variables become that much more volatile. Like your queen can all of a sudden turn into a pawn. They lose one fight, they lose 1k shutdown, boom, now they're weak as shit, right? Versus waves, objectives, and tempo, they pretty much do not change. If you cannot play for a wave, you look at the next wave. If you cannot play for an objective, you look for the next objective. If you have shit tempo, try to fix your tempo. If you want to maintain your tempo, try to maintain your tempo. All these things stick in the game. It's transferable to every single game. So that's why these three things are really, really important to think about.
Okay.
Okay? Only fight with your strong side, teammates. Play the fight how they would play it. What that means is if Ezreal is your strong teammate, how does Ezreal want to play fights?
How does he
Ezreal,
probably wants to play back.
and then like what kind of archetype? If you were to name it as like a front to back, okay, no, like what kind of damage does he do?
Poke.
Yeah, he wants to poke, right? I mean, that's a kind of broad question, but he wants to poke, pretty much. So, when you go in, it must be after Ezreal has gotten his job, and his job is to poke.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's a Gangplank, if it's what was the other teammates? Zac. What does Zac want to do? Is that, generally speaking, take the fight with your teammates if they're on your screen. Okay, so there's gonna be a few things about patience slash fighting. Zac's your fat teammate.
He wants the front line.
Yeah,
Engage.
but engage. He wants to go in, so that's why you would go in with him.
Yeah.
So you follow what your strong teammate does when you play these fights. But the biggest thing is when there's no one on your screen, that's an ally, like this guy's not on your screen, you're not playing the fight correctly. There better be a teammate on your screen. This is called chasing for kills, and it can lose you objectives, lose you team fights, lose you games. This guy is dead. He's been dead. What did you use on this guy? You used your ghost, you used your ult, you used your E. Imagine this is a team fight, and that's what you're playing to do. This guy's already dead. He's going to be useless in this fight. If you kill these two people, you can get the objective right afterwards. You can get the objective and kill
Yeah.
either
Yeah.
objective. So do not chase. And also, make sure an ally is on your screen, specifically your strong ally, when you are fighting. Okay, and the last thing is how they move.
what the
Yeah.
pieces do.
So
Yeah.
from my experience at least, when I play against someone who's better than me at chess, they're better at setting things up and developing versus permanently advancing and permanently attacking. It's important to
Mhm.
understand this because in a game of chess where it's like turn-based, it's really turn-based, it's really like like you can clearly make good or bad plays. It's really important to develop and to not go too far forward and not get your own pieces killed. Right? If you put a piece by themselves really far forward, it's very likely you're going to put yourself in a bad position. It's going to get eaten. You're going to lose that piece. Okay? A good player, when you play against them in chess, they don't play like that. They don't kill themselves. They don't lose pieces. They don't play aggressively. They develop, and then when the time is right, they take advantage of the enemy team's mistakes. In League of Legends, this is even more true. Okay? Everyone is going to be making mistakes. All 10 players in this game is going to be making mistakes. The person who's not playing aggressively, who's not forcing plays, who's not restless, who's not like trying to permanently fight, will win the game if you're doing the right things. So
Right.
the point
It's about
is,
consistency.
yes, it's about consistency, but it's also about being patient and it's about not forcing things. It's about doing the basics, doing the fundamentals, and not trying to become an overachiever in a game or a league where everyone else is trying to be that overachiever. You can beat all these overachievers by being the only normal person, pretty much. So the most important thing is do not force things while ahead or behind, so pretty much ever, and wait for the enemy team. They will. So it's not waiting for the enemy team, but and capitalize on the enemy team making mistakes because they will make mistakes.
Mhm.
And then the one last thing is we talked about fighting, we talked about patience, we talked about not forcing things. Um, when it's about playing your own game and not letting anyone else get in your way. So pretty much what this means is whether you win LP does not matter.
Mhm.
All we are focused on is making sure we played a good game of League. Are we focused on ourselves? Is our CS good? Is our score good? Are we playing fights well? Are we doing, like always should just come from yourself? Are you playing a good game of League of Legends on your own terms? No one else matters. It's really important to. This is kind of like the most important thing that's been helping me personally. You need to focus on yourself. That's all you can really
Yeah.
do. It's all about yourself.
Yeah, that's why I only got tilted when I know I lost because I played badly. I try not to let the games where it was unwinnable from the start get to me, but just games where I'm the reason that we lost, it's very, very tilting.
Yeah, but even then, like, focus on what you can do to not tilt. Like that's unironically a coping mechanism to try and deflect the part of like you've done something wrong. You can still do something right in this game. Like there's 25 minutes in this game. You've only 10 minutes in the game. You can still do something right in this game. You got kills. You clearly did it. But the idea is when you're frustrated about that, it's actually like just deflect, like not deflecting, but it's like running from the actual you know there's still
Problem,
things
yeah.
you can do, pretty much. So
Yep.
it's a skill to learn, and there's still things to work on. But